Hey, welcome to the Profit Builder video series. I'm Vicki Suter, your host, and I'm the author of the book, The Profit Bleed, How Managing Margin Can Save Your Contracting Business. And these videos are all about helping you grow a more sustainably successful contracting business. And for over 25 years, I've been helping contractors increase their profits, generate more time in their day, and reclaim and refine the joy in what they do again. And that's what this video series is all about. And my goal is to help give you the thinking to be able to understand how to do that in your business. And then I actually give you tools and resources that help you implement what it is the video is talking about. So I hope you enjoy today's Profit Builder video. This week's topic is about how do you interview people in a way that you can make sure they're a right fit before you hire them. Now, that may seem like kind of an obvious thing, right? I mean, that's the purpose of interviewing. I did a survey a couple of weeks ago, and 30% of the respondents said that they wished that they were better at interviewing and hiring people. I can completely empathize and appreciate this. I've had my share over the years of hiring not the right person for the job. And it's super frustrating, right? You get a couple weeks in, or even maybe a couple months in, and you get past sort of the honeymoon stage and they're just learning their job stage or the company stage. And you go, oh my gosh, this person is not a right fit for the job. And on average, it costs companies $25,000 or more, depending on the position, to hire and turn over a new employee. So when somebody leaves, that's on average how much it costs a company. So there are some things that I learned along the way when I struggled with this myself. I started studying some of the great leaders and managers out there, and I developed, talking with them and talking with headhunters, a list of questions that really help people create a better interview process so that you can start to ask the kind of questions that really will give you more depth into, hey, does that person have the cultural fit with our company? Do they have the skills really necessary to be able to do the job? Have they done the job that is that job in your company versus maybe that same job title in a different company that actually is a completely different set of requirements or skills that are necessary to do that. Oftentimes I see it, and you've probably seen this too, right? Where somebody has the title of project manager or controller, and they come and work for you, and then you go, oh my gosh, what did you do? Because you're not really at that level. So these questions are intended to help you know if they actually have those skills. They're also intended to find out something about that person's personality. You know, are they a good personality fit? Do they have accountability and responsibility in the way they answer questions? And I'll go through some of those questions and you'll kind of see what they are. But the idea is you have this set of questions to help you make sure that you're asking the right things to make sure it's a right fit. So in talking to a headhunter recently, she shared this interesting little statistic with me. She said that 80% of the people who come back from interviews tell her that that person that they interviewed with asked barely any questions. They mostly talked about the company. Now, while talking about the company is super important, that right there is the reason why a lot of people end up not hiring well in the first place. So especially in today's market, you may be thinking, it's important for me to showcase that we're a good company and I want to show that we're a great place to work, which is absolutely an important part of the interviewing process. I completely agree. And you want to make sure that you're interviewing them really thoroughly and making sure that you're also pulling out of them what they need to get answered in order to make sure that it's a right fit. Because I really hold that when you're interviewing is a two-way street. It's got to be that it's a good fit for you and it's a good fit for them, because those are the people who last the longest. Here's the interview questions. The purpose of the interview questions are kind of set up like this. So there's some recommended interview questions for you to ask. And then below that is, what do you want to listen for to make sure that the kind of answer that they gave you is one that is going to be a fit for you. So let me just give you some examples. So one of these first questions is, why are you leaving your current position? And I actually asked this about all the previous jobs. you're listening for personal responsibility. I've had people tell me stories about how their boss was horrible, or they couldn't get along with their, other people or other departments. And it's an indication of somebody's, people skills and ability to get along with others. I ask for a description of their ideal work environment. So if there's somebody who really likes to work alone and they like to, just sort of be focused down, and that they need to be really engaged with the team, that's probably not a good fit. Some other questions: tell me a bit about your previous job. So things like, what were your responsibilities? How was the job structured? Did you have any quotas to meet? What kind of results did you have to, to cause there? You're listening for things like, is it a matched skill set? Was the job that they were doing there really the job that you want them to do here? Asking things for if they have any quotas to meet, you're asking, are they responsible for certain results that they have to create? And are they used to managing that, right? Again, that's something about the depth of their experience that you're asking. I'm going to hop down here to a couple other questions that I think are really great questions. Number 7 and 8 here. So how would you go about doing blank? So the idea of this question is, you're listening for their logic of sequence in a task and how it should be done. Like, I'll interview controllers and I'll ask them, tell me about your work in progress process, or your cost to complete process with the project managers, or your, something like that. And if I don't get an answer that I know should be the kind of answer I should be getting, I know that they haven't done that. It's a really important function of that job. That becomes a critical point that I have to weigh in that process. One of the other things that is a good question is, tell me what you think it takes for blank to be successful. So an example would be, if it's project manager, and I know that really important critical things for a project manager to be successful is that they manage schedule and budget. Well, if I've got somebody who talks to me about how they manage the guys in the field, and it's all about managing the production, then I know they may be more at a level of a senior lead person, or even a foreman, but they're not really at a project manager level. So those are the kind of things that you can ask those kind of questions, and like I say, they're going to give you a little bit more depth. So you can modify this. I've given you a link to these interview questions, and hopefully you'll find that they're helpful. Let me stop sharing my screen. Down below on the screen is a link to where you can download that resource, interview questions. Again, you can modify that for yourself. I hope you found this week's video to be helpful. I encourage you to make sure to download the free resource that I offer at the end of the video. I think you'll find it will really help you implement the learning from what has been shared in this video. And my passion in life is helping contractors build more sustainably successful businesses, increase their profitability, reclaim their time, and find more joy in what they do again. So if you found this video helpful, would you just share it with a friend? Thanks. I look forward to seeing you next time on The Profit Builder.